Hey, it's Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. So, could MLSPIN members here in Massachusetts have a more lenient rules package than the NAR proposed settlement? Or could what happens in a courtroom here in Massachusetts actually impose a stricter rules package on real estate agents across the country than the NAR proposed settlement? Those are good questions, right? So that's what we're going to investigate in this video. By the way, we always have our notes, so let's dive into it. First off, I want to thank many of you. About 7 or 8 of you over the last week or two have been sending information to me from the National Association, from your local associations, and from your local MLSs. And in doing that, I've been watching a lot of videos and reading a lot of guidance from various professionals in the business all across the country. And then it dawned on me, why haven't I gotten one of these from my local MLS called MLSPIN? And I called them up. I reached the right person. I knew who to ask for. And I'm happy to say that her response was incredibly timely. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was timely. She got back to me very quickly, within like 2 hours or something. So thank you for that. But effectively, she said, I can't comment because it's pending litigation. So in this video, I wanted to bring you news of how it was all going to work out. But really, more than anything, I've got questions. Usually it's you've got questions, I got answers, and this is the other way around. So not being a lawyer, just being a mere mortal, too smart to go to law school, I have some questions. And I think these questions basically set up the playing field here. Here in Massachusetts, MLSPIN members, we have a potential at least 3 different proposed rules packages. We have the rules package that's proposed by the MLSPIN settlement, which happened last year. We have the rules package proposed by the NAR settlement, which all of you are aware of, got a lot of coverage. And then we have the rules package proposed by the Department of Justice, which came out on February 15th. Those are 3 conflicting world views of how the industry should operate. And at some point, there has to be some type of reconciliation on those 3 views. Let's go to the chalkboard. Okay, so I got it all set up here. It's kind of like door 1, door 2, door 3. It's kind of like that old Let's Make a Deal, Monty Python, or no, Monty Hall. And I know I'm dating myself. So behind door number 1 is the preliminary MLSPIN settlement that was reached sometime last year. And that settlement said that you could have cooperating commission on the MLS, but it would be optional. In other words, it could be as low as $1 or anything above that. And that would definitely be on the more lenient side of things. And that is the current trajectory if the settlement gets finally approved by the federal judge here in Boston, Patty Saris, I think is how you say her name. That's what the rules package would be in Massachusetts and a couple of other states where they operate. And that's definitely distinctly different than the NAR settlement. The NAR settlement, which came out on March 15th, that's behind door number 2, is that you can have cooperating commission or cooperating, you know what I mean, but only off the MLS. And that cooperating commission could be anywhere from 0 to, any number that you want. And it also requires buyer agency agreements. That's obviously a big difference between the MLS and the NAR settlements. Then you have behind door number 3, the Department of Justice letter of interest or statement of interest in the MLSPIN case, which came on February 15th. And this is where we're starting to see there's got to be some type of reconciliation on these situations. And in this case, to oversimplify, all of this is oversimplified, of course, but effectively this is the more strict option, and this is tremendously simplified, but basically they're saying no more cooperating commission, either on MLS or off MLS, no more, and effectively it's to decouple commissions. And that is definitely the stricter rules package. So those are your basic 3 options. And we have some dates that we have to talk about. So the next important date is May 24th. That is when the parties to the MLSPIN Nosalek case here in Massachusetts have to respond to the Department of Justice letter. They have until that date to respond. I would also add that since this all happened sometime in April, the Council of MLSs and Northwest MLS have chimed in and basically joined the party here with the MLS Nosalek case. Also very important to note that NAR is not a party to the MLSPIN Nosalek case. That's an important distinction. Not a party, and that actually makes it more confusing because, as you may have remembered, that fairly recently the multi-jurisdictional litigation panel, MDL, whatever the hell it's called, they declined to combine these cases. And I was kind of in favor of combining the cases because it would have been simpler, I think. But now, at least for now, the cases remain separate. And so that is a complicating factor. So we have more parties involved in the MLSPIN case, but not NAR. And we have a deadline of May 24th for the parties to respond to the Department of Justice. So that's the next big deadline. Looming on the horizon is a August 17th deadline for realtor-owned MLSs to adopt the rules package in the NAR settlement, and September 16th for non-realtor MLSs, which is what MLSPIN is, to adopt the rules package. And MLSPIN, just to let you know, like typically they almost always adopt rules that are consistent with the NAR policies. Even though they're broker-owned, their policies are almost always the same as NAR. And the legal issues in the MLSPIN case versus the NAR case are very similar. Remember, of course, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just, a feeble-minded human, but that's what they tell me. So let's go back to the drawing board here. Now, the conventional wisdom has been that the Department of Justice has coordinated or somehow unofficially blessed the NAR settlement. That has been the conventional wisdom, that the Department of Justice is on board with that, notwithstanding their incredibly divergent view issued on February 15th of this year. But somehow, everyone seems to believe that the Department of Justice is on board with that. I don't tend to agree with that. My gut feeling was that we would definitely hear a letter of interest, statement of interest, that the Department of Justice would issue in the Bombshell Commission lawsuit out of Kansas City, also known as the NAR settlement. But then I started to think, maybe the Department of Justice won't issue a statement of interest in the NAR case because maybe they've decided that they don't have to. Maybe they've decided that the battlefield that they want to fight this on isn't Kansas City, but Massachusetts. Because if the Massachusetts judge, Patty Cyrus, sides with the Department of Justice in the MLSPIN Nosalek case, that would seem to me to override the proposed NAR settlement. Again, not a lawyer, too smart to go to law school. I'm just a regular person. But that would seem to be at least a divergence and might establish some type of precedent that supersedes the NAR settlement. We need a legal expert here to answer this question, but maybe the Department of Justice has chosen its battlefield. And everyone expected, at least me, that they'd fight on the Sitzer-Burnett battlefield, but maybe they've decided to fight on the MLSPIN Nosalek case battlefield. I don't know. But as I started off this video, I said, I got a lot of questions. And certainly as a broker here in Massachusetts, member of MLSPIN, I'm like, what do I do? All of these other associations, all of these other MLSs, broker-owned and realtor-owned, are all giving guidance. But I got no guidance from my local MLS. I got bupkis. I got nothing. And the reason is because I think the outcome is in significant doubt. All right, I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. We'll keep you posted. Have a great day. Bye-bye.